I'm Roger Altkeld, a counselor at the Cabin, a counseling and family resource center in Zionsville. I do a lot of addictions counseling and I get a lot of questions about how do we maintain our recovery or what happens if my addictive behaviors is increasing during this time of crisis with the pandemic and our staying at home. One of the biggest concerns I see and hear about is the sense of isolation that folks with addictive behaviors have. This is real similar to what we experience in our addiction. We're cut off from other people, we're isolated, we're lonely, which is one of the big triggers of relapse. We are frustrated, we are isolated, and then become very bored because we've got nothing to do and there's nobody to do anything with. So we become bored, another one of the triggers that occurs when we are isolated and cut off from all of our people. So, what can we do about that? I think the simple answer is reach out to other people. Um, if you're involved in a 12-step program, find an online 12-step group. There are a lot of those around. If you don't have a 12-step group or can't find one, call your sponsor. Uh, Identify 5 people that you can call and talk to. It doesn't have to be a video shot like this. It could just be on the phone, and just call them and talk. And maybe you talk about what's going on. Maybe you talk about your temptations to get back involved with your addictive behaviors. Maybe you call and talk about talk about the weather. Maybe you talk about what might have been in basketball if we'd had a full season. Might speculate about what would have happened in baseball if we'd had a season that was going to play. So you talk about anything. Maybe talk about an idea you have about a hobby you'd like to pursue. But any of those kinds of things to get you connected with other people. I think another idea is just simply go out and walk. I've been out walking with my wife, and we see a lot of people. Now, I don't have to stop and chat, but I see them, and I can say hi to them, and I can ask the general question, "How are you doing?" And, but in that sense, I've made some contact with other people. I think some of the other things we can do to help ourselves during this crisis is to limit the amount of news that we hear. That can be a real doomsday kind of scenario that we're constantly listening to that. I think another thing we can do is keep ourselves busy. And one of the ways I talk about that is to maintain a regular routine. If you had a job but you're not working right now, I say get up at the same time you would have had to get up with your job. If your next routine was to eat breakfast, go eat breakfast then. If take a shower, set a schedule and follow that as closely as you can. Not perfectly, not rigidly, but consistently. Um, Schedule things for you to do. Get your calendar out. Schedule a time when you read. Schedule a time when you go for a walk. Schedule a time when you watch your favorite TV program. Uh, Maybe catch up on some of those movies that you wanted to see but couldn't. You find them on the internet somewhere. But those kinds of things to keep you busy. And I know I hear people talk about it's a real struggle right now. And I would say, you know, from my perspective as a counselor, that's a good thing. Because if you weren't struggling, you'd be engaged in your addictive behavior, you'd be using. You struggle because you're working at not engaging in that. And that's good. And I say, good for you for being in the struggle and allowing yourself to be in the struggle. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call at the cabin or talk with any of the counselors there. We'd be glad to help you out and enjoy this time off. And the other thing I say, you don't have to stay clean and sober for the rest of this pandemic. just today. That's all. Just stay clean and sober today. And that you can do because you've done it before. Good luck maintaining your recovery. Thank you.